like to call to order the Westmont Village Board meeting of July 25th, 2024, to order at 6 o'clock p.m. and ask Clerk Simsky for a roll call, please.
Mayor Gunter.
Here.
The clerk's here. Trustee Barker.
Here.
Trustee Brady.
Here.
Trustee Guzzo.
Here.
Trustee Little.
Here.
Trustee Nero.
Here.
Trustee Simonovich.
Here.
Attorney Lamparello.
She's virtual. She's here.
Okay. Village Manager May.
Here.
Assistant Village Manager Parker.
Here.
Finance Director Altick. Am I saying that right? Okay. And
Would everybody please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And welcome everyone to tonight's meeting. I'm sure Trustee Little will say why you're here and not out, but we'll let her say that. Open forum. There's nobody here for any item that's not on the agenda, so I'll close it and move on to reports. My report is very simple. To remind everybody to stay in the know. We invite citizens to be in the know regarding village news, programs, services, events, and meetings, and more. I find out stuff by this. There are 4 things you can do to find out what's happening in Westmont. First, like the Village of Westmont Municipal Facebook page. Second, sign up for nextdoor.com and be included in Village's messages sent out via that platform. Third, go to the Village website and sign up for our e-newsletter, which is sent out every other week. And fourth, go to the Village website and click on Notify Me icon to sign up and receive alerts when news release updates are published on the website. These are great tools to keep current on all the village issues and concerns and information. So that's all I have, and I turn to Clerk Simsky.
okay, and I just have a few announcements on the consolidated election dates. The election dates have been posted on the DuPage County Election Division website. August 20th will be the first day for petitions to be circulated. The first date of file will be November 12th, and the last date of file will be November 18th. Voting day is April 1st, 2025. For complete information, visit the DuPage County website.
Good, and that's a month earlier than in the past, so.
Right.
Trustee Little, Administration and Finance Committee Chair.
Thank you, Mayor. We had our Administration Finance Committee meeting at 4:30 right here in Village Hall. With regard to that, we received an update on our pay for performance system from both the assistant manager and our HR director. And so we talked about the different core values, the goals and expectations, and how it's all coming together and how it's being evaluated by not only management, but by a group of people, a focus group that was put together. So it's coming along and it's working. They've got a lot of bugs to work out, but it's working they've got it put together quite well right now. Next item was a new credit card system that was presented by our finance director, and we have a potential go-live date of December 1st, and that will be more information to come on that one. The temporary awareness ribbon policy is being worked on by the village clerk's office, and that will be who's putting ribbons on trees and how long they can be on there and so forth. And then the last item on there was a public camping model ordinance, which is being adopted by other villages, and we will be looking at debating over how we're going to handle that one. And that's all for that one. Well, next we have the Taste of Westmont, which was held last weekend. It was a wonderful event this year with the entire event open for all 4 days. We had great PR from Westmont, including articles in the Daily Herald. The Suburban Life, and an interview on WGN TV. We thank everyone who helped with coordinating and executing this event. Even with the rain, we were successful and consider it to be a really good year this year. So thank you to all of our volunteers who came out and supported us for that. And obviously, we're still looking for more volunteers. Cruising nights, if you're here and not out there, I'm wondering why. I'll be putting on my orange shirt in a few minutes and going out there, and I'll be working the street. So we're looking for more volunteers to sign up via the website at westmontevents.com. It would be really nice for everybody to come out and volunteer at least once this summer. It's a fun event, and it's big. And then Public Information Committee updates. About 20 people participated in yesterday's PIC meeting. This meeting was a great way for village and community groups to share information regarding upcoming programs and events. And that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Well, thank you, and I do have to compliment the special events. The volunteers did a tremendous job, including yourself with the taste. 20 years, special events been in operation, and they continue to add more programs to it, so.
We do.
Congratulations. Trustee Nero, Public Works Committee.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a few items tonight. Our next Public Works Committee meeting is September 19th, 4:30, right here, Village Hall. And on July 18th, we had our Public Works Night as part of Cruising Nights, Trucks and Jeeps Night. Public Works had a total of 5 village and municipal vehicles at the event, which were really well received by the community, as always. And additionally, Public Works has been supporting our Environmental Improvement Committee on educational outreach at various events as well, so we appreciate all that help. Quick update on construction that's happening here in town. Don't forget to check the village website for construction updates. It's a nice little GIS map link that gives you all the information on the projects, and I just heard that it was just updated today, so lots of good information on the road work and things that's happening in town if you have any questions. And then as a reminder, the Pocket Park is now open. Again, this was first discussed at an EIC meeting, and the Public Works Pocket Park concept has been realized with the development of a small parcel at the intersection of Cass and Irving. Again, thanks to Public Works for really getting this done in a timely manner and all the very interesting way of doing it. So we thank them. Good, innovative way to use that parcel. So I know everybody loves it. It's awesome. If you haven't checked it out, go see it. And then last, brush pickup program. Just as a reminder, residents, there is a free brush pickup program. Please check out the village website. It works very similarly as the program did with our last waste haul vendor. There are some rules and things to follow, but you can, it is through Flood Brothers, but check out our website for more details and all the specifics.
It's every week.
And it's every week, that's correct. And that's all I have. Thank you, Mayor.
Well, thank you, and just to piggyback on that, I want to thank Trustee Barker for spearheading that Pocket Park to get one down in Public Works, who did a tremendous job in getting it together. And
Park District, too.
I got to thank them, and the Park District. They helped a lot with the design. Trustee Simonovich, Police Public Safety.
I think the most interesting thing about the Pocket Park was how they were able to repurpose a lot of items like already on hand, and I'm very impressed.
Yep.
So, okay, next Police Public Safety Committee meeting will be on October 17th, 4:30 here at the Village Hall. The Police National Night Out is being held August 6th from 5 to 8 p.m. at Ty Warner Park. This is a great community event and fun for all ages. It was really nice having it at the Ty Warner Park location last year, so I'm sure everyone is looking forward to that. The golf fundraiser sign-up is still open for the second annual Special Olympics Golf Fundraiser being held on September 13th. More info to sign up is on the village website. And that's all I have. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Trustee Brady, Community Development.
Thank you. The next meeting of the Community Development Committee will be August 8th at 4:30 at the village, here at the Village Hall. Regarding the Downtown Incentive Program, the grant applications are now available. You visit the website or contact Community Development for details. Something new is being put together. The village is now offering online permitting for residential window and door replacements, as well as single-family roof replacements. Visit the village website and search permitting for more information.
Thank you. And Trustee Barker, Environmental Improvement Committee.
Thank you, Mayor. The Environmental Improvement Committee will meet again on August 5th, 5:30 here in Village Hall. And I'm just making everybody aware yet again, there's a tree planting incentive program for help with trees on private property. And there's a little bit of financial assistance there, so if you're interested in a tree, there's information on the village website. And then also I wanted to say, we, received an email, I don't know if it was the end of last week or this week, but, West Nile is a real thing. There's been positive traps in our area, and there's a spraying. I forget the exact day of the spraying. But anyway, take that seriously. The Environmental Improvement Committee works with the abatement contractor, and the village spends extra to have a more environmental spraying program. And we endorse that for the safety of all of us, because it is actually real. That's all. Thank you.
I'm going to go back to trustee Johannek Guzzo for fire, public safety, next week, we got a big event coming in town.
Thank you, Mayor. Our next Fire Public Safety Committee meeting is going to be September 5th, 4:30 here at Village Hall. Everyone is invited to attend. And next Thursday is Fire Truck Night. Come on out, and it's a great event, and the weather's hopefully going to be really, really good. And that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Moving on to the agenda, public hearing, 5/1/2024 to 12/31/2024, appropriation ordinance public hearing. Board to conduct a public hearing for the 5/1/2024 to December 31st, 2024 fiscal year. And at this point, I'll ask Director Altick to come on up. This is required to have a public forum, so I'll let him, before I open it, I'll let him have a chance to talk about it.
Thank you. So up for approval tonight is the appropriations ordinance. It's under new business later on under tonight's agenda. So state law requires that the village pass an appropriations ordinance within the first quarter of its fiscal year. So that puts us at the end of July, so we're just squeaking this in. And then just to provide a little bit of context, so this appropriations is an 8-month budget. Historically, these have obviously been 12 months. This is a little bit different in that it's an 8-month budget as we transition over into a new fiscal year starting in January, and then we'll follow a calendar year. And so we'll have the same type of discussion or open forum for the Appropriations Act in March. So just to provide a little bit of context for next year, which is coming up. So the appropriations ordinance sought for approval later on tonight does establish or set the legal spending authority for the village. And just a point of clarity that I wanted to provide is this doesn't circumvent any of the village's internal controls over purchasing. All the same internal controls will still have to take place for all village purchases, whether that's a $2 notepad or a multi-million-dollar construction project. So getting quotes, getting bids, getting appropriate approvals, all that still happens just like it does every day. So all that happens even though we're setting up the spending authority tonight. So like I said, this appropriations ordinance is a little bit unique in that it is only an 8-month time frame. So the total appropriations for tonight is $89,752,057, and includes not only the village but also the library share. The village share of that is $87,241,250, with the library share being $2,510,807. Like I said, this is an 8th month. Usually these are, I think last year was close to 119,000. So like I said, we're quite a bit less than last year just due to that 8-month time frame. And just one thing I wanted to add, this appropriations ordinance is not a lot different in terms of theory, in terms of how this has been done in the past. I know looking over, and the library director's here as well if he has any questions about the library. But just looking at her numbers and how the village's numbers were put together, it's the very same theory as everything that was been put together in years past. There's not a lot of differences in terms of theories for this year. And the last thing I'll leave you guys with, just a couple of the projects I wanted to point out that are of either noteworthy or of significance that are in the appropriations ordinance. A couple of the projects that we're going to try to get accomplished this 8-month year, start construction on the North Water Tower of about $2 million. purchasing of 3 new police patrol vehicles, a little over $200,000. Another road resurfacing project, grand total of that is close to $1.7 million. Residential alley construction of 1.3, new salt dome construction of 800,000, combine relocation of almost 2.2 million, and Warwick water main repairs of 1.1 million. So these are some of the significant projects that staff will be working on this 8-month cycle.
At this point, I'm going to open the public hearing. Anybody want to address the, seeing no one, I'll close the public hearing and then look for any questions or comments from the board. Again, this is an annual, any taxing body has to do this in their first quarter, so it's nothing new to us.
Right.
The newness is the 8-month and the 12-month, so.
Right.
Well, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is new business item later on the
Yeah.
meeting.
Yeah. Does anybody have any items they want removed from the consent agenda? I'd ask Manager May to please read.
Thank you. Consent agenda this evening. Open the time. Begins with the village board minutes. Board to consider approving the minutes of the village board meeting held July 11, 2024. Next is finance ordinance number 7, in the aggregate amount of $2,374,145.83. We have 3 purchase orders, Allied Garage Door, $37,049.06. This is for a budgeted replacement of one of the rear bay doors at Station 182. Next purchase order is Westmont Chamber of Commerce, $30,000. This is for the Westmont Auto Group dues and participation, and that, even though it's a separate purchase order here, it's a simultaneous payment inside that finance ordinance. Third purchase order, Albright Construction, $41,827.50, and this is for remodeling work in the police department, specifically the records room and the break room, also budgeted. Those 3 purchase orders are $108,876.56. Together with finance ordinance number 7 is $2,483,022.39. And that's it for the consent
Do you have
agenda.
a motion to approve as presented?
Motion to approve is presented, Little.
Second, Brady. Any comments from anybody? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Little,
Yes.
trustee
Brady, yes.
Brady.
Brady, trustee
Yes.
Guzzo, trustee Simonovich.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Little, and trustee Barker.
Yes.
Motion passes. We'll move on to new business. A, the 5/1/2024 to 12/31/2024 appropriation ordinance. Board to consider an ordinance adopting the 8-month appropriation ordinance, and I'd ask Director Altick to come back up. I think he explained it quite well earlier. I don't know if anybody
Just if there are any
has
questions.
any questions. Anybody? If not, I don't see any questions. That's why I was calling you up in case, but you explained it extremely well, so I'll entertain a motion to approve that appropriation ordinance.
Motion to approve, Little.
Second, Barker.
Motion been made and second. Any comments? Roll call, please.
Trustee Barker,
Yes.
trustee Little,
Yes.
trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee
Brady, yes.
Brady, trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Simonovich.
Yes.
Motion passes. New business B, increase of available Class 4 liquor license. Board to consider ordinance increasing the number of available Class 4 liquor license by 1 for Tokyo 1 LLC, Galaxy Sushi, and Raymond, 15 West Quincy Street in Westmont. And I'd ask Deputy Liquor Commissioner Mulhern to give us more information.
Good evening, Mayor and Village Board. The applicant is not here tonight. I spoke to them on Friday. They were busy. We weren't sure if they were going to be able to make it. They had planned on opening yesterday. I went there this afternoon. They're ready, lights and everything on. There's somebody in there, but they weren't open, so they may be opening tomorrow. I don't keep So just keep an eye open, they're coming soon. Anyway, they've applied for a Class 4 liquor license, which is for beer and wine only. They may increase to another license class later, but right now, all they're looking for is that. I did a background review on the one applicant. Her name is Zhenhong Jiang, and she is part owner of another restaurant up in Highwood, Illinois, and checks, all my checks and everything shows that all clear, no problems, and that she is eligible to receive a liquor license, should you approve to increase the liquor licenses by one.
Do I have a motion to increase the available Class 4 liquor license? Brady?
We're asking, excuse me, ready? We're asking for Class 4 right now. That's just beer and wine?
Yes.
Then you say may increase it to another?
Right now, they were originally debating whether they wanted to even have a liquor license, and then they decided, well, we'll ask for beer and wine, because at the other store their customers were. They just got a liquor license up there recently, I believe. And so now, so we plan on, increasing for more cocktails and that type of a drink. They said we may, in most places, it's their option to do so later. If they do, they have to come back in front of us. You have to approve the increase of that liquor license class. And again, another small background was done at that time, too.
Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve, Nero?
Second Little?
Motion made, second. Additional comments? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Little,
Yes?
trustee Nero,
Yes.
trustee Simonovich,
Yes?
trustee Little.
Yes?
Did I say you already? Sorry. Trustee Parker,
Yes.
Little I got, Nero I got.
Yep. Motion passes.
I
Yes.
think I got Simonovich.
Yes.
Yes.
Got you all. Okay, thank you.
Motion passes. We'll move on to C, temporary liquor license, Sunrise of Westmont. Board to consider ordinance authorizing the issuance of a temporary Class 9 liquor license by the local liquor commissioner, me, to Aspired Living Westmont, which is now Sunrise of Westmont, 407 West 63rd Street. We had an opportunity to go there today. Its facility is still beautiful, like they built it. We're happy Sunrise took over. They're well-known across the United States, so I'll ask Deputy Liquor Commissioner Mulhern to give more.
One comment we heard today as a group of us were there, a very, as the mayor said, very positive place. One comment was, this will be the last ribbon cutting you will see here. Sunrise will be here forever. And I says, okay, well, just reserve me a room, because I'll need one in the near future. But anyway, they are it was a very nice place, and so far management as well.
I don't know
Reason
why.
for this temporary liquor license is to get us to where they want a full one. They changed ownership from the previous owner of Aspired Living to Sunrise, which required back in June. And at the time, they didn't know that they needed a liquor license. Had they done so, we could have done this ahead of time. But instead, now we're chasing after the licenses. What they do is for their dinners, and I'm not sure for lunches, they might for lunch, but I know for dinners, they offer their residents the ability to have cocktails. They can have a beer, wine, a mixed drink, whichever they wish. They're allowed to do that. We created a special class many years ago for senior citizen living centers, in which this would take place. So they've changed ownership, so technically for the last 3 weeks, they have not been serving any alcohol. I was waiting to see a group of senior citizens out front carrying signs, give me my beer, but they were all very understanding today. But they're very hopeful they would like this temporary license to get them to. They have applied for a permanent Class 9B liquor license. I'm meeting with the manager tomorrow for a fingerprint, so we're moving that along. But to get us from where they're at now so they can begin serving alcohol until the board decides to give them their permanent liquor license, that's why we need the temporary liquor license.
It's internal only for their residents. They're not opening it to the public.
No, the police department, when they get the opportunity, they do go in and check, and we warned them about that today. That's gonna be kind of hard, why you have a 20-year-old trying to go into a senior living center and try to buy alcohol. I don't think Chief Gunther has very much luck getting violators there. But with that being said, they know that they are subject to checks. We've never had a problem there. And I think it's over 2 years of liquor things. And the residents really, really do appreciate this extra amenity.
Do I have a motion to approve the temporary liquor license?
Motion to approve Barker.
Second Kuzo.
Motion made in second. Any additional comments? Yes, trustee.
Are they planning to do any gambling?
No, and as a matter of fact, the Class 9B is not in the liquor license, video gaming license. There's a set of, like, I think, maybe 10 licenses that are allowed to have that. They are not one of them, so they would not be allowed. Should they apply, they are not eligible.
Thank you.
But I would think that would be you talk,
Doing it
of all the
anyway,
other
it's
gaming
not that
places I talk to, they say that the senior citizens is their go-to group.
Yep. Any other comments? Roll call, please.
Trustee Barker,
Yes.
trustee Guzzo,
Yes.
trustee Little,
Yes.
trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee,
Yes.
trustee
Yes.
Simonovich, and trustee.
Yes.
Motion passes. New business D, rezoning 10 West Traube Avenue. Board to consider request from Dwayne Newton, who is the petitioner, and Kenneth W. Newton as trustee of the Kenneth W. Newton Declaration of Trust, who is the owner, for the property at 10 West Traube, Westmont, Illinois, for the following. 1, zoning ordinance map amendment request to rezone the property from OR1 Office Research 1 District to R3 Single Family Detached Resident District, and 2, a waiver to zoning application fees. And I'd ask Director Henderfine to give us some more information.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Board. So a public hearing was held in front of Planning and Zoning on July 10th for this request. So I did put up a visual, if we can get that up on the screen for everyone. So 10 West Traube is
Oh, yeah, I'm fine.
right next to the police department. Everyone probably has driven by the house several times, but it's been there for at least the last 40 years. In 1990, the village rezoned a bulk of the properties around the post office, the library at the time. This was one of those properties that was rezoned. The house has always remained a home. I think it has had 2 units in it, but I believe that the second unit has been removed. The petitioner is requesting to rezone this to R3, which is our single-family zoning. So basically returning it to a similar zoning than it was before. As it sits now, it's what's considered a non-conforming use, which means that you can own and maintain it, but it does limit what you can do with it, especially with expansion. It's especially a little hard to sell because if you want to try to get a mortgage or homeowner's insurance, usually those entities ask, can it be rebuilt? And when it's a non-conforming structure, it cannot be rebuilt without permissions. So it's not a by right thing. So the petitioner made this request at Planning and Zoning on July 10th. It did receive a positive recommendation from Planning and Zoning 5-0. The second request, which did not get considered by Planning and Zoning because it's not their purview, the petitioner is asking for a waiver to the zoning application fees. In this case, it's actually a reimbursement. A rezoning cost is a $500 fee, so $500 was paid up front. The petitioner is requesting that be returned. Petitioner is here so he can explain that and answer any questions you may have. And of course, I can answer your questions as well.
Maybe
What was it before 1990?
It was
four?
zoned R4.
Okay.
Now, our zonings were a little bit different back then, but R4 was a multifamily zoning. So if you look at the illustration here, most of everything that's along Cass Avenue is zoned R4, or the big section of blue was rezoned to OR1. Really, it's kind of like there is a mid-block division line. So basically, everything that is facing Cass, the 300-foot deep lots, were zoned either R4 or this OR1. Everything that was on the west side remained an R3 or a single-family zoning.
But if it's to be residential zoning, R3 is the better fit anyway.
Well, our comprehensive plan actually designates this property as single-family.
Yeah,
So we always try to follow what the comprehensive plan says should be done when you are asking for a rezoning. So it is in compliance with that.
But it's not returning it back to pre-1990. It's
Yes.
different.
Which would be R4, which would
Okay.
be multifamily, and you'd create an island right there of one R4 zoned property, which can be considered spot zoning, which can be easily challenged. So it's typically something we try not to encourage.
How many structures are on the property right now?
The petitioner can correct me, but I believe there's a home, there's a detached garage also, although it's so close it almost looks attached, and I believe there's a shed. Is that correct? Correct. Okay.
Call the petitioner up and he could give us some additional information before we call for a motion.
Okay, Wayne Newton is here?
Good evening, Board.
Evening.
Roll with the questions, or do you want me
Oh,
to supply answers?
If you have any additional information you want to share with the board,
Well, the only additional information I would have was on the waiver of the fees. I've always had a problem with it because I didn't create the property didn't create the situation, it was created by the village. So it took me a long time to come to senses, because I want to do something, some upgrading over there, and this was the only path.
I'm looking, any questions? Yes, trustee.
Under additional background, it says 2 dwelling units.
Again, back in the day, the place was built in the 40s, and it was built as, I guess, a 2-flat type, and it just kind of remained in that. When they created zoning, this would be my interpretation of it, a lot of those properties along Cass and whatnot, that whole area was R4. And that property 508, I believe is that yellow R4?
Yeah.
So that is kind of a spot zone, but that's a multi-building complex thing, but, yeah, and so in like late 80s, early 90s, the village came and district made new zones to this new OR1, which has very limited uses within that district. And that's what created this non-conforming, and I was told that I have to be like an abutting district, R3, which is the neighbor to the west. And that's what the first item was, to rezone it to R3.
Is it now a single-family
Yes.
home? It's not a double dwelling?
No.
Okay, thank you.
You've owned the property the whole time?
Not, it's been in the family since,
It's
yeah.
been in the family from how long ago?
Oh, well, that's kind of debatable, somewhere in the mid-40s, early 40s.
Okay, I'm looking for a motion to amend the zoning ordinance map amendment request to rezone the property from O1 Office Research 1 District to R3 Single Family Detached. I have a motion for that?
And just for clarification, if I can, Mayor, it looks like we have to have 2 motions and 2 votes. One will be for the rezoning and one will be for the
Thank you.
required or requested waiver. And I know that's what you're doing, I just want everybody to understand that.
There you are. All right.
Thank you.
So we have the one motion for the rezoning. Do I have a motion?
Motion to accept.
Brady?
Second Little?
Second Little. Any additional comments? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Trustee Simonovich.
Yes.
Trustee Brady, I said him already, didn't I? Trustee Uzo.
Yes.
Motion passes. The second one is the waiver of zoning application fee. I think we all had the email from the attorney filling us in, so I need a motion to approve the
Waiver?
Waiver of the application fee?
Motion to approve, Little?
You can vote. Have a second?
Second Guzzo.
Motion been made in second. I don't know if there's any additional, again, I refer back to the attorney who told us about
I'm
it.
realizing whether tonight you did get a memo from the village attorney Zemanek regarding that, only in that it's never been considered before unless it was, a not-for-profit or a other governmental entity. So it's unique to this. It's a unique type of request, but understand the reason for the request.
Yeah.
If I could, Mayor, if I could add to that, so I appreciate what you're trying to do, but this is what I refer to as a can of worms, this one, so that's my comment.
Any other comments? I'd call for a roll call, please.
Okay. Trustee Barker.
No.
Trustee Brady.
No.
Trustee Guzzo.
No.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
No.
Trustee Simonovich.
No.
Motion fails. You're 1 out of 2, so you got the zoning.
That's fine.
And you've already paid that fee, right?
Correct.
And nobody from the library came at the...
Not that I'm aware of, and I was there.
I
Right.
think they, yeah, okay. All right, thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Mayor tries to get you to speak one way
I
or the
know,
other.
one way or the other. Well, her time to speak would have been at planning and zoning, so. Moving on, miscellaneous. Anybody have anything? Only thing I have is to wish Larry Forsberg a happy birthday tomorrow. He's joining the exclusive club, the 70 Club, so I'll wish him a happy birthday. I don't have anything yet.
You had to actually announce the number.
Well, I'm in the club. As long as you're in the club, you can do it. It's the fastest growing club in the United States.
We all hope to make it, right?
Yeah. Do we, I don't have an executive session. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn, Little?
Second.
Motion made in second. Roll call, please.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Simonovich.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Okay, I want to thank everybody. This meeting is adjourned.